The Game Awards just happened, and we have some very strong thoughts. Folks, welcome back to the Mario Matter, your favorite Nintendo podcast, episode 119. I am your host, Nintendo YouTuber EmSwizzle, and the Game Awards is like the video game Oscars, kind of. Only happens once a year, and we give our thoughts today, but let's, because it's a big episode today, let's take you through the entire program of this podcast. We begin in a few minutes here with some Nintendo news. We have some Switch 2 leaks and some very juicy stuff to go along with that. After that, me and our guests give our thoughts on the Game Awards, what we liked, what we didn't like. Some big announcements came out of it. Nintendo's performance at the Game Awards. We talk about all that kind of stuff during that segment. After that, me and our guest answer your questions you asked us in a fun Q&A segment. And our guest today, folks, is the returning Russ Vandy. Russ is amazing. What does the guy not do? He's got long forms pumping out about Nintendo and, of course, some other things gaming-wise. He pumps out shorts. He does it all. He's a real fun guy with over 50,000 YouTube subscribers, and he joins us once again for the second time ever on this podcast. Let's not delay the good stuff that you want to hear. If you want to skip to any point in the podcast, there are timestamps down below. Let's go ahead and let's not make you wait. Let's get to it. Bruce Buffer, read the intro.
Welcome to the Mario Matter, the #1 Nintendo podcast.
Russ, welcome back to the show, my friend. How are we doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on.
Of course.
It's the post Game Awards time that we are experiencing right now. That's all. I'm a little tired, but because it goes late.
It does.
That's all I have to say.
It is the post Game Awards show, and that is the big topic for today. We talked about this before we jumped on the show. Should I even say, you know what? I'll save this. I'll save this for the actual segment before I dive into that.
Yes.
Anyways, it is the Nintendo news segment to dive into as of right now. I'll save that extra content for later. On our first piece of news to discuss with Russ here is potentially our biggest piece, definitely our biggest piece of news, aside from the Game Awards stuff. We have more Nintendo Switch 2 accessory leaks, and I feel like we've had one of these for the past 3 episodes, so I'll go ahead and read the details, then Russ, I'll get your opinions.
Sure.
So, I believe last episode, or 2 episodes ago, it was a leaked Nintendo Switch 2 screen protector that we had a look at. We could see the screen size and everything. Now we have 2 leaks. So the first one being a blue silicone case. So a company, I believe a Chinese company, is making a blue silicone case for the Switch 2. And I'll put these pictures on screen. You can very clearly see the Nintendo Switch 2. You can see the extra button on the right Joy-Con, the new thumbsticks, the new shape, the USB-C port on the top, everything like that. You can see pretty much what the Switch 2 will look like according to this Chinese accessory maker. This looks just like, remember a few months ago in like September or so, we saw that big Switch 2 leak where it was like a 3D model?
Yeah.
This lines up exactly with what that looks like. So, I said it last episode, Russ.
Yeah.
All these leaks are coming out, and they all look like they're for the same leaked Switch 2. The one with the 2 buttons on the right Joy-Con. It all looks like the same thing that they're making accessories for. I said we have to put the puzzle pieces together at some point. That was the exact phrase that I used. All these leaks are all for the same leaked system. Do we believe that that is what the Switch 2 will actually look like? USB-C port on top, new thumbsticks, a new button on the right Joy-Con. Do we believe this?
Well, I mean, I believe it. I think that, I don't know if I believe this leak specifically, but I definitely think we're going to see the extra USB on the top. We're going to see the magnetic Joy-Cons, all this fun stuff. Like, I can't really give this new leak with the blue silicone case really much credit because it's the exact same thing that we've seen a dozen times. It's crazy. People say that this is like, oh my, we got a new Switch 2 render, but it's the exact same render. I don't really, there's nothing new coming out. So, I mean, it's cool to get another look at it. It's cool to see another render, but it's the exact same thing we've seen over and over again. I do think that this is the one that we got in September with the factory leak in China or whatever, the one that got leaked with the open switch case or whatever. That one I do believe. But I only believe that because, we've been getting rumors of mass production starting in China, all that fun stuff. They're shipping out 2.5 times more switches or something.
Yeah, right.
So we're bound to be getting actual switch leaks like from the factory, which is why I believe those initial leaks. And this is just another render of the exact same thing we've seen before. So I'm not giving it much credit. Also, I don't really know what's the company? It's like some Chinese company that does accessories.
Why are we giving them? No, I don't. Yeah.
Like, why are so many people jumping? At this point, the Switch community is just like anything Switch 2. Let's jump on it. It's really not even that much different to what we've seen. You know what I mean? It's like literally the same thing, just now blue. The only thing I don't really jive with on this model, this render is the buttons. Now, this could just be, maybe it's just a really bad case design, but the buttons are blue. I don't, why would you, I've never seen a case where the buttons aren't cut out.
Oh, yeah, that is kind of weird, isn't it? And also, one thing that I noticed is those buttons, I gave a small pictures to, look at, but if you zoom into them, dude, the buttons are huge. This might just be, the case design. That is a great point. Why are the buttons not cut out? That is a great point.
It just doesn't seem legit. Well, it seems legit, but it just seems like the exact same thing we've seen. So I don't really understand why people are making such a fuss about it. And it's some Chinese company that, okay.
I will say, if that is in fact the Switch 2, this looks like our best look at it yet. This looks like the actual system as opposed to the renders that we've seen in these 3D model software. That actually looks like it.
Yeah, fair enough.
So that's kind of cool,
I hope that it looks like this. I mean, all I want from a Switch 2 is a Switch 1 more powerful.
Sure.
That's all I'm asking for. Because
that's it.
That's like the biggest thing. Okay, that's the biggest thing I'm asking for. I could ask for a bunch of other things, but realistically, I'd be happy if we just got a powerful Switch 2 or a powerful Switch, the same Switch, just more powerful.
See, I can't stop there, man. I need Miiverse, I need Street Pass, I need Nintendo Cats, I need everything.
Are we talking software now? I'm talking mainly hardware. Just give me a powerful chip, because we could talk for hours about software.
True. Well, speaking of hardware, I need a camera with that top USB port, but
camera. Oh.
We had another Switch 2 accessory leak as our second piece of news, and this one is from a company you can count on. Heck, you might even have this accessory in your household as I speak. Satisfy, are they mainly a Nintendo accessory company? I know that they make, the whole Switch thing. But,
I think they do all sorts of accessories, but their main thing is the Satisfy grip.
Okay, so the Satisfy, I believe it's called a Zen grip, right? They make this for the Switch where you put it on, so in handheld mode, with the Joy-Cons attached, you put this grip on the Switch and it kind of gives you something to hold on. It's not, the flat Switch with the flat Joy-Cons. It kind of makes it feel like more of an actual controller in handheld mode, which is really, really nice.
They're great.
So, yeah, I've never actually had one, but just the idea of it is a solid one.
I don't have a Satisfy grip. I think it's called Skull & Co. grip, but it's like the same thing. You slide the Switch in the top, you can change the grips on the back. It just feels better. I mean,
sure,
it's not necessary, and most of the time I don't even use it, but the early days of the Switch when I was doing just handheld, it is worth it. Oh, it's okay. If you have a Switch Lite,
I do.
You need to have one. Okay. You need to have one on the Switch Lite. If your main thing is the Switch Lite, get a grip.
Yeah.
Get a grip.
Gotcha. I have a silicone grip thing, but sorry. Anyways, they announced they're making one for the Switch 2, which is all nice and fun,
Who could have seen this coming?
Who could have seen this coming? So they announced that, but here's the problem with them announcing it, okay? So I saw this, oh god, I'm going to put whoever tweeted it on screen, so credit to them. They put out a picture. Honestly, I'm not even sure if I can show this on YouTube because I don't want to be struck. I'll make that decision when I edit the podcast.
Yeah,
so if you see the picture, if you see the picture on the screen, I felt a little bit ballsy today. Because
yeah.
they showed what appears to be the Nintendo Switch 2 just a little bit blurred. I imagine that they wanted to make it a little bit more blurred than they made it. Essentially, we have a look at the Switch 2, and guess what? It looks just like the same Switch 2. It looks just like the Switch 2 in the blue silicone case picture. It looks just like the Switch 2 in all the 3D render models. At what point can we believe that is what the Switch 2 looks like if everyone is making their accessories with that in mind?
I think it's pretty fair to say that this is just what the Switch 2 is going to be. It's been leaked several times by several different sources. When you get big companies like Satisfy to do something like this, it's one of two things. It's either a big publicity stunt to get more sales, or it's fake and it's publicity. It's publicity. So I guess it's just one thing. They just want publicity for this.
One thing.
It's one thing. But I just, again, it's the exact same thing. So I don't know when us Nintendo fans are going to really, it's just got to get shown off at this point. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
Were you one of the people that thought, and I don't know if you were, I'm just asking, you're trying to gain some, I'm not sure what you'd call it. Did you think that the Switch 2 would be shown off at the Game Awards?
No, absolutely not.
I didn't either. I just wanted to check.
Whoever thinks that the Switch 2 is going to be announced at the Game Awards, I'm sorry. Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's just like, man, you got to be really desperate if you think that the Game Awards is going to show off a new system. To be fair, they did show off the Xbox Series X, I think, at the Game Awards in 2020 or something.
Mm-hmm.
So, or 2019, I don't know. It is possible.
I think 19 maybe.
It is possible that they would show it off, but not Nintendo. Nintendo would want to take full control of this. Full mark. Nintendo is barely at the Game Awards as it is. Why in the world would they announce their brand new system at the Game Awards?
Here's the thing. I had a tiny bit of hope because of all these leaks. Like, bro, you need to just find a spot to announce it and go. Like, the only reason I thought maybe was because of, like, the amount of leaks, but I still didn't really think it would happen. I just, had my hopes up a tiny bit.
I think when they do announce, first of all, I thought that it was going to get announced, like, September.
Sure, same.
I was on the September train, and if not September, maybe October. It was lining up so perfectly. We had people in the what analysts say. One source person said, "Hey, the Nintendo Indie World and the Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase, it's going to be in August, so that they have space to announce it in September." And then that actually happened.
Mm-hmm.
And
it was crazy.
They had never done a partner showcase and an indie direct at the same time. So it's like, okay, they're giving us space here to announce a Switch, to announce a Switch in September. And then they had the whole, I don't know, it was just such a perfect time in September. And I don't understand why they didn't do it in September, especially if it's going to come out in the first half of 2025. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially if it's going to come out in the first half of 2025. Why in the world would they not announce it early? Which makes me think that it's not going to come out at the beginning of 2025. I think at this point, they're just going to announce it in March.
Really?
That is just my guess. I think they're officially going to announce it in March, the latest possible. Maybe before Mario Day, before March 10th, but I still think it's going to be as late as possible.
It's a running joke on this podcast that I change my Switch 2 reveal prediction every single week, but right now, where I sit, is sometime in January.
I don't know. It's so, I hope, but I've lost all hope at this point. It would, if they were going to release it in the first half of 2025, I feel like they need to do it in January.
Mm-hmm.
And I genuinely think that they could announce it in January and it still comes out in March, because hold on. News travels fast these days.
A little bit.
Super Mario Wonder came out. The internet is completely different to how it was even 8 years ago when the Switch 1 came out. They don't need as long as a marketing cycle. And I actually think if the marketing cycle is shorter, it might do better at launch. Now, maybe that's just what I want. That is what I want. But
Sure.
I think it is possible if they decide to do that. Most realistically, in my brain, it gets announced in March, comes out late summer, early fall. That would suck. That's what I think. I don't think it's gonna go all the way to holiday because I think they want to get that initial batch of Switches sold before the holiday so that no one's scrambling for it. Everyone can get it for Christmas if they want.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is what I think. I have some. Yeah, those are my takes. I think it's possible, or if they do announce it in January, spring, call it a day. But I don't know. At this point, I don't know. I'm just assuming it's going to release in March.
I hope it does. I hope it's as soon as possible. But
yes,
they might need some time in between to promote our next piece of news if this does end up happening. So we have sorry, not to like totally just move on.
Hey,
I hope it comes out on your timeline, March or so, whatever. Hopefully it comes out soon. But our next piece of news is a rumor that comes from a few sources here. This was discovered by Mike Odyssey on YouTube, and then I'm getting some of this info and these examples from Go Nintendo, who I do like a lot. The rumor is Nintendo is adding a brand new gameplay feature to the thumbstick on the Switch 2. Now, this is very much so a rumor. This is one that I'm not confident in, but we do have to report. The only reason I'm not confident in it is because, one, it's weird. Two, it is a patent which they have filed, them being Nintendo, and a lot of those don't actually come to fruition, so I don't really want to believe it fully. But if this patent is true, Nintendo is looking at adding a feature to the thumbstick where the simplest way that I can explain it without getting technical is, say for example, if you're playing a new 3D Mario game and you get stuck in the mud, the thumbstick will like tense up and be harder to move. It's like a thumbstick feature. It like reacts to your in-game conditions. So, I'll say it again. If he's stuck in mud, it'll be hard to move. It'll be, maybe vibrate. I don't know. It'll be tensing up. Do we like this idea?
Okay, I love when gaming companies do something unique with the controller, the experience. For example, you got the adaptive triggers on the PS5 DualSense.
Mm-hmm.
Holy smokes! I know you don't have a PS5.
I don't.
But by golly, that is a fantastic feature that really enhances the experience so minimally, but it's still like wildly cool every single time you play it, especially in a game like Astrobot, which is solely built around using these controller features, the touchpad, these adaptive triggers. So I think this would be a very interesting concept. I don't know the reality of putting more. I feel like if they're going to do anything to the joysticks, they should just make them good.
Yeah.
No drift, any of that. And I feel like if you add something this dynamic, this
interesting,
creative, I mean, if you do something like this, first of all, I don't think the casual market's going to care.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think Nintendo's actually willing to invest in it that much.
Sure.
And it's going to break. Like, it's bound to break, especially when you have, the kids can play the Switch, and I feel like it's bound to break if it happens. So I don't know. This is just a patent, right?
Yeah, right.
I mean, Nintendo files tons of patents.
Tons.
So I don't really know why the Nintendo community sees something and then they blow it up. Like, it's just. I mean, we're talking about it right now, but this is what we do. This is
sure.
But it's an interesting idea. I think personally, if I were to actually play a game and the joystick was starting to get crummy, or not crummy, but
tense, maybe
more tense, then I'd feel like there was something wrong. And especially, I think a lot of the casual audience, which is who Nintendo is primarily aiming for, at least I think. I don't know if that would really be a beneficial financial move to invest into something like that. But I think it's a very interesting concept.
Interesting for sure. Do you want to know my take?
I would love to know your take.
So this supposed feature will happen when Mario is in mud, for example.
Mm-hmm.
just stick to making the controller vibrate and just make the stick normal. I'm not for this feature. It's not for me. It sounds like a cool, neat, cute idea. But as you said, the casual market doesn't care.
Yeah, well,
I, for one, am not going to love this. Why? We don't need this. I mean, listen, I'm all for new ideas, creative idea. I love that more than anybody. But this, I feel like it's just them trying a little too hard to make something new. I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan.
I mean, I think it's also, it's kind of like it's kind of like the IR motion sensor.
Sure.
No one uses the IR motion sensor. I think even on the leaks, there's no IR motion sensor either. So I feel like this is one of those things that they could add, but it would take extra development from people porting over their games to integrate this new analog stiff thing.
Yeah.
And it's just like an added thing that people need to do when they develop games for the Nintendo Switch. Now, we haven't tried it. It could be amazing. It could be game changing for all we know.
Yeah.
I just don't see it to be that important. It's not a selling feature. It's not a selling feature. I wouldn't buy a console because my stick can get stiff on the Switch. You know what all right.
It's just not a mind-blowing thing, but that might happen, might not. We'll have to see if it happens. You should probably bet on the it won't happen side, just because, as we said, they make a lot of patents, not all of them happen, but I would like to see it happen just to see the reaction and them try something new. I just wouldn't be the biggest fan of it.
Yeah.
However, something I'm also not a big fan of is Nintendo has added new Mario Kart 8 Deluxe sounds to guess what? Not the Switch, not the Wii U, not any other gaming consoles.
Imagine they add Mario Kart sounds to the Wii U.
Oh, that would be great. In 2024, give me that. They have added these sounds to Nintendo Alarmo, your favorite Nintendo alarm clock. Now, why are we talking about this? I'll give you some details, then I'll give you my thoughts on it and how it's terrifying. So, the whole gist of it is, they've added new alarms for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Basically, if you use one of these alarms, you can just wake up to music from your favorite Mario Kart tracks. You can't pick which, any track that you want, but there are 8 or so to select from. To name a few, Mario Kart Stadium is one of them, Twisted Mansion, Dolphin Shoals, Electrodrome, and so many more. I say so many more, like 4 more. It's not very many. But here's what I don't like. So I've tested this. Wait, Russ, you have an Alarmo, right?
Oh, yes, sir. Every day.
Do you like it?
I use it every day, but I don't think I like it. We'll talk about that. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. I've been using the Alarmo every day since it released. And my initial experience was, okay, this is pretty cool. Whatever. It's a fine experience. I did a video on it.
Yep.
And I've been using that. How long has it been out? Since has it been out for over 3 months at this point? Did it come out in August?
Yeah, October, I think it released.
Oh, October?
I think October. Yeah, because that was when I think me and Scott talked about it. I think it was October.
Okay, October. I don't know why I thought August. Anyways, October. I'm way behind. So I've been using it since October every single day, and I find it every day, and this is just kind of part of every alarm clock. Every day it gets more and more annoying.
Sure.
And it's the thing is, I think it could be good. I think if they just did music, like good music. I have Peach's Castle. I've been running Peach's Castle for a month on my Alarmo. If they just added the music from Peach's Castle, I'd be a happy guy. I'd wake up and I'd be ready for my day. It would smell like bacon essentially all the time, but it wouldn't.
Yeah.
It'd be good. It'd be good. But the issue I have with all of the Alarmo sounds is that you move a tiny little bit and it starts like yelling at you. Yelling so much. It's spamming Toad noises, spamming Princess Peach noises, and it's just so irritating. But I still use it every day. And I feel bad for my wife. So I shut it off as soon as possible.
Yeah.
And it barely even works. I I don't use it to its full potential, but I do find it increasingly annoying. I think they should have a sound effect shut off button.
That'd be great.
Just play the music. I went on a tangent there about Alarmo. I'm feeling
all good.
I have lots of strong opinion on Alarmo. So you
for sure, and I kind of fall in the same line as well. I have the Pikmin sounds enabled, the Pikmin alarms. I wake up to, bro. Anyone who does shuffle all is a maniac.
Crazy.
I do collecting treasure by Pikmin for every single morning. And that's really, really peaceful. Bro, if you shuffle all... Bro, I can't describe. You're like waking up to a new thing every morning?
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
That is.
I do collect and try. Now, the thing about the Mario Kart ones, though, so I didn't wake up to them because I knew I wouldn't want to wake up to Mario Kart Stadium, for example. When you set this as your alarm and it goes off, I'm not sure if you heard them yet, Russ. Basically... if you wake up to any of the Mario Kart alarms, it sounds like, bro, you wouldn't know if a car just slammed into your house or if you're waking up for school. Bro, all you hear is like, vroom, vroom, and then like the song plays. It's terrifying to wake up to. And sorry, last thing here. I put on the Mario Kart theme because as you'll know, every single hour the Alarmo makes like a little, chime sound.
Yeah, the
like,
hourly
ding,
chime.
It's a new hour. The hourly chime. And the Mario Kart ones, I didn't know what they sounded like. So it was like 4 p.m., waiting for it to turn 5 p.m. I was on my computer. I didn't know when it turned 5 p.m. I start hearing these like vroom sound. Bro, they're terrifying. So the hourly chimes are just vrooms. They're terrifying.
Yeah.
The alarms, terrifying. I don't like the Mario Kart ones. I'm waiting for the Animal Crossing New Horizons Alarmo update. Do you have any have you seen these, heard these? Will you be using the Mario Kart?
I've heard all of the Mario Kart sounds. I haven't actually used it. I haven't used them. But I'm really liking the dolphin shoals. That I think that might be my main. I might main that one for the next couple months.
Even that's just like too aggressive for me, though.
Again, the issue is the stupid sound effects.
Yeah, that's bad.
The sound effects go ham, and just slightly play the music. That's all I want.
Exactly, or like fade it in or whatever.
Yeah, who wants to wake up with a ton of cars crashing through your house? Like, it's
terrible.
It's crazy. There should just be a music feature.
Please.
Should happen. Exactly.
I want it to happen, but something else. These transitions, something else that I want to happen has happened, and all the goodness associated with it. So, Russ, this was not planned for us to discuss yesterday. 3 hours ago, actually, was not planned for us to discuss. But I added this because in our June 23rd or whatever episode of this very podcast, I came on here talking about the June Nintendo Direct. It might have been earlier, I forget. And I said something like, this game is fire. And a lot of people don't think it's fire. So I'm going to create a meme on this podcast here, because our next piece of news is Hello Kitty Island Adventure releases on Nintendo Switch January 30th, 2025. And I'll put gameplay on the screen, audio listeners. It is the greatest game of all time. Hello Kitty Island Adventure. You're probably asking me, Max, why are you hyped? Dude, this game looks dope. I am now an adult. I turned 18 3 weeks ago, and that's great. So now I can say I'm a grown adult about to play Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Why is this a news topic? I want you all to watch the trailer, okay? Whether you watch it and you're an audio listener and it's linked down below, whether you're a video listener and it's on screen. Tell me this does not look like the greatest game of all time. You got Hello Kitty characters. You're freaking walking through Hello Kitty land. You're on a huge island.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like, now here's the only part that I'm uncertain about. Is this free? Because if it's free, we have to start talking about this as like Game of the Year 2025.
Well, now this is a mobile version, right? Not the mobile version.
I believe so.
This
I
is
think
a
it's like a
mobile
mobile game or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if it does normally when they bring mobile games over to the Nintendo Switch,
I'm gonna Google this. Yeah.
yeah. Google it. We got to know. If they bring mobile games to the Nintendo Switch, they usually add some sort of like it's just paid up front, and then there's no mobile. They rip out the mobile microtransactions.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully it's like that. I wouldn't say I'm a big Hello Kitty guy, but if you like it, who am I to judge? We love Hello Kitty.
Russ. This game, I do not have confirmation. It seems that we do not have confirmation, but Play Asia, who is credible and who knows their stuff, has it listed for $60.
No chance.
How is that possible?
Is it on other consoles?
So it's on. Maybe I don't
if
know.
It's on
but
Steam, I'd go by the Steam price.
The Nintendo site says nothing. It just says that it releases in January. There's a Reddit forum that just says people are guessing like $30, $50. But Play Asia's charging you $60. There's no price available for this right now. But dude, this game looks dope. I wanted to put it on the map. Hello Kitty devs, if you're watching, I'll take a free code. I'll do early coverage for you on this podcast. No guarantees. Terms and conditions apply. But
yeah.
Are we buying this? This is dope.
I mean, hey, I'll take a free code as well.
Dude, I could see this being a Russ Vandy video. Like, I played every Hello Kitty game on the Switch.
Played every Hello Kitty game on the Nintendo Switch. There's only, I think there's only 1 or 2 games on Hello Kitty on the Nintendo Switch. I think there's only 2
Isn't there
games.
like a racing one? Or
there's a kart racer that came out back in 2018.
Okay.
But I don't know if there's another. Maybe there's I know there's definitely a kart racer because there was a Wii U kart racer.
Sure, yeah.
And then they put it to the Nintendo Switch. I don't even know. I'm just going to say Hello Kitty Racer. I know there's definitely one.
Something like that. Yeah.
I know there's definitely one.
This is number 2.
You know what? Maybe it is a future Russ Vandy video.
Maybe it will be.
Hello Kitty game.
You can clip this podcast and put it in your video. No, you don't have to. But that is a silly segment. Now we get to the big boy segment, the sweaty gamer segment, and that is going to be our honest thoughts on the Game Awards. As you may or may not know, you probably did know because there were like over 1 million people watching live. The Game Awards happened this week, this Thursday, December 12th, and we're going to talk about it. Russ watched it. I skimmed through it. Oh, that was what I was going to say, but I didn't want to turn people off right when the podcast started. You watched it. I was going to say I skimmed through it. Russ actually watched it.
I watched the whole thing.
The whole thing. We can talk more about that. Do you want to talk? We'll see. But with that said, let's go ahead and get to that next segment. The Game Awards, everyone's favorite and also somehow least favorite show of all time. There's so many problems with it a lot of times, not from me, but from people online. And there's a lot of things to be loved about it. There's great music, there's great awards, some call it rigged. There's a lot of mixed opinions, and we're here to give the honest truth, the things that a lot of people will not tell you about this show. And Russ actually has a story that he was telling me off camera here, before the show, that I thought was interesting to kind of build the story here. Russ, you were invited to, by the way, I love the mug that you're holding on your camera. What is that?
Man, I gotta say, beverages taste really good out of this mug. I better take a quick swig.
Oh boy, he takes a swig.
Oh yeah. Oh, wait a second. It's a Mario Matter mug.
It's the Mario Matter mug, available at EmSwizzle.shop. Sorry to promo at the beginning of the segment. It just so happened to be on his camera. EmSwizzle.shop, very affordable. Boom, bam, bop. But Russ,
had to throw that in.
Where were you invited to, and can you tell us the story of where you were watching the Game Awards?
Yeah, so usually I watch the Game Awards every year. I watch it with my brother. We usually have it on in the background, play a couple games or whatever. But this year, because of the 10-year anniversary, YouTube was doing this thing, and they invited a bunch of creators. I think everyone, I don't even know. They invited a bunch of creators, and somehow I got on that list. And it was in Toronto, not far from where I live. And so they invited me to go and watch the Game Awards at this golf simulation place. I'm like, okay,
Golf simulation
yeah,
place?
it was. They had 3 screen, golf simulation, like a virtual golf simulation. They can
Oh, sure.
like,
Yeah.
like screens up, and you can hit the golf ball at the thing, and it can measure.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know how it works. Anyways, yeah, for some reason they did it. They were doing it there, and there was like not that many people there. It was just an interesting experience. I thought it would be unique to meet some fellow Canadian content creators. A lot of people weren't even gamers there. They just took the opportunity to to network, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's how I watched it yesterday.
How many people were there? Just curious.
I think there were like 5 staff members,
Okay.
and there was at least probably 20 to 30 creators.
That's a good amount. By the way that like, you were saying it, I thought it was like 4 people. I was like,
Okay. There was like 20 to 30 creators, but I think there was only 6 gaming creators, and I was one of them.
Oh, okay.
And
so
it was just
like
like
4 people.
Yeah, like, why are you even here right now? I wish it would tell you like who's going or whatever. Anyways, It was a cool experience. I probably wouldn't do it again next year. But there's a fun quick story on how I experienced the Game Awards in 2024.
Sure. It's very cool stuff. I was watching football while it was going on because football is on 3 times a week. The Game Awards are on 1 time a year. We obviously know what the more important one is.
Let's be real.
Football.
Yeah.
Because the Game Awards is 4 hours long. But I did see Twitter clips. I did see, I went back this morning and watched it, little bits and pieces. All the important stuff, and I've gathered all the notes, and we will talk about every single game that was announced and every Nintendo thing that happened. And let's go ahead and spoil the party. Nintendo didn't win anything.
It was not Nintendo's year. In fact, Nintendo rarely shows up to the Game Awards.
Yeah.
As Nintendo fans, we're kind of snubbed. Every once in a while, there's a good one. Like they announced Bayonetta Origins. They announced Bayonetta Origins in like 2022, I think.
Oh yeah, the Cereza thing, or was that? Do
Yeah,
I have that right?
No, that's right. That's right. I don't remember what. I didn't play it, but I know it's Bayonetta Origins.
Mm-hmm.
Bayonetta Origins something. But yeah, I mean the Game Awards aren't really super Nintendo oriented. You got the. Do you want to name off the awards?
Yeah, we can do that. So, Nintendo was nominated for quite a few awards. When I say quite a few, I mean, what, 4 awards and a few different games. So, Zelda Echoes of Wisdom was up for Best Action Adventure Game. Princess Peach Showtime, Mario Party Jamboree, and Echoes of Wisdom were all up for Best Family Game. By the way, that's the category that they should win, and they did.
Every year, that's like the Nintendo category, but yes.
That is the Nintendo category. Mario Party Jamboree is up, or was up, for Best Multiplayer Game, and Metroid Prime 4 Beyond was up for Most Anticipated Game. So now, here are the most notable awards I felt to talk about, and all the Nintendo ones. So, Game of the Year was between Astrobot, so no Nintendo here. Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth, Wukong, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and if I'm saying this right, Metaphor Fantasio?
Yeah, I'll count
that right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll count it.
And so Astrobot, Russ, a lot of these young kids nowadays, this Gen Alpha slang, glaze, I've heard is a slang word. There seem to have been a lot of Astrobot glaze. I mean, there seemed to be a lot of Astrobot glaze,
Rizzed up Astro.
So they won Game of the Year. Astrobot won.
Do we want to talk about the game of the year at all? Because I think it's important moving on to these next categories.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that is a very good point. Astrobot. So I've never played it. You have, right?
Yes. So first of all,
give me your thoughts.
Fantastic game.
Okay.
Absolutely deserves the Game of the Year, but I didn't play any of the other games. So of course I would say that. Now, this is the most Nintendo PlayStation game ever. It's only on PS5, but it is literally the most. They took a lot of inspiration from Nintendo games, specifically like Mario Galaxy. They took a lot from those games, or was inspired by them. Like, absolutely, I think this Astrobot deserved to win. I saw a lot of people thought it was going to be all these other ones. First of all, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. That's a DLC.
That's a
that
DLC.
shouldn't even be on Game of the Year.
Yeah.
Well, what even is that? I think they're all great games, but I feel like Astrobot has the largest appeal to everyone, and it was just a really solid game. So I thought for sure Astrobot was gonna win. I talked to a lot of people who did not think Astrobot was gonna win, but they didn't play Astrobot. So yeah, I think it's well deserved. But I think the Game of the Year category is a important one to look at, because as we go through, we'll keep going.
Balattro's a banger.
I haven't actually played Balatro.
That's a banger. Astrobot, I never played. I see that you have the controller up there. I've never played Astrobot. I just have heard really good things about it.
Really, really good. I think it's actually worth, if you don't have a PS5, find a PS5 on sale. Not only will you have a PS5 that is great for gaming in general, but you get to play Astrobot.
Yeah.
And it's already on sale. For Black Friday, it was on sale already, which is just crazy to me. How it goes on sale so fast. As a Nintendo guy, right? It's like already on sale and it came out in September. What in the world?
I almost pulled the trigger to get a PS5 for Black Friday, but I
Yes.
said next Black Friday I would do it. Not because I just need, when I make big purchases like that, I need like a year to just like let it sit and then I'll do it. So next Black Friday I'm going to buy a PS5.
Hey, it's a business write-off though. You can write it off.
Yeah, but like, yeah, I guess, but it was just too much money.
It's
$550 for Astrobot and Madden.
It's just such a, the PlayStation is the best. I mean, it's better than, I know you're an Xbox guy, an Xbox boy.
I am.
And listen, I have the Xbox as well, but I'm just drawn to the PS5, especially because of those controllers. Like I said earlier, those controllers are like,
They seem nice.
yeah. It's like, whoo, man.
So Astrobot did take home a Game of the Year. Action Adventure was also given to Astrobot. The other nominees were Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, Silent Hill 2, Star Wars Outlaws, and Echoes of Wisdom. Echoes of Wisdom did lose. I didn't think that they would win, but
Yeah, definitely not.
That was up there.
Here's where the cracks
Start to form
for the
Okay.
Game Awards. When you have an action adventure game and you have a Game of the Year contender with a bunch of other non-Game of the Year contenders, who do you think is going to win? It's obviously going to be the Game of the Year contender.
Exactly, which is why I was thinking about it this morning. I feel like you shouldn't, if you're voting for the Game Awards, I feel like you shouldn't be allowed to vote for Astrobot for every category, because like gives everyone else no chance. I don't know.
yeah,
Maybe that's just how it is, but
It's just not, I just don't think it's very, like, it's obvious that Astrobot's going to win if it's the Game of the Year contender. That's just, like, action adventure wise, yes, it does deserve it. Okay, it does deserve the award, but there's no chance for any of them if you put a Game of the Year contender in that category, which makes it's just like, yeah, obviously it's gonna win. To be fair, action adventure game Legend of Zelda was okay for us Nintendo fans. I think next up it should have won, but
indeed,
again, it had a lot of performance issues. Did you play Echoes of Wisdom?
I did. It did have a lot of performance issues,
Holy
bro.
smokes.
Pick one, 30 or 60 frames per second. It just we can't go back and forth here. Like
Exactly.
Every 4 seconds.
Figure it out. Or like there would just be massive frame spikes. Just
Exactly.
it's like, what was that?
It was weird, but also where Echoes of Wisdom was nominated, Best Family Game, Astrobot, Princess Peach Showtime, Mario Party Jamboree, Echoes of Wisdom, or The Plucky Squire, which I've heard good things about but never actually played. Astrobot wins again.
Yep. Who could have seen that coming?
Okay.
The
Who
thing
could have
is,
seen that?
Best family game to me is like, what is the best game you could play with your family?
With family.
Yeah. So
Isn't Astrobot single player? I have no idea.
it is single player. They're
That's
all
insane
single
to
player
me.
except for Mario Party. They're all single player.
So what is family game?
So
like
I
family
think-
friendly?
I would assume, yeah, it has to just be family friendly.
Okay.
But if it was like family oriented, by far, Super Mario Party Jamboree should have won that.
For sure. Exactly.
I think in the category of family game, it would even win. I voted for Jamboree over Astrobot for sure, because it definitely deserves better. It's a better family game than Astrobot,
Yeah.
especially considering there's so many older PlayStation IPs in Astrobot.
Mhm.
It pays tribute to so many older PlayStation series and IPs and stuff like that. And that's less family because it's for the older players. But Mario Party is just literally the family game. Princess Peach wouldn't have won because, I don't know. It's just it's too.
It's just not great.
Yeah. And then Legend of Zelda, 30 frames. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not optimal. But yeah, Nintendo loses again. Best multiplayer game. They had a chance. Helldivers 2, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Mario Party Jamboree, Tekken 8, and Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. And Mario Party Jamboree lost to Helldivers 2. Listen, Russ, I was looking at all these awards this morning, and I felt so uncultured because I like my Nintendo games, and outside of Nintendo games, I don't play a lot of games as a whole. Like, I have a Steam library. I'm either playing Animal Crossing: New Horizons, I'm watching football, or I'm making content. That's the three things that I do in my life, or I'm at the gym.
Yeah.
I have not played Helldivers, is what I'm saying here.
Yeah.
Have you played?
I actually haven't played it, but I haven't played any of these games.
Neither.
Aside from Mario Party.
Neither.
Now, I will say, Helldivers 2 was like massive earlier in the year. Like
I heard good things.
Like I definitely think, I think it deserved to win. I think it deserves to win this one.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't played it, but I know that it was really good, so I respect it.
Sure. I wish Jamboree won something. It was such a good game. Jamboree was really good.
It was.
And then something that Nintendo should have never won, and thankfully they did not win, was most anticipated game. GTA 6, I won't even tell you the rest of the nominees because there was no competition here. GTA 6 won. I will tell you who else was. Death Stranding 2 on the beach was up there. Ghost of Yotai, if I'm saying that right. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, of course, was the Nintendo thing. And Monster Hunter Wilds was up there too. But nothing would have beaten GTA 6. You could have put, I don't know, Switch 2 as a console up there, and it wouldn't have been GTA 6.
GTA 6. It's obvious. It's not. I mean, personally, my most anticipated game is Metroid Prime, but there's just no chance.
No chance.
It's actually laughable that it even was a category.
I know, right? Come on. But along with awards, of course, it is called the Game Awards. We also get some other cool stuff, Russ. In between all of that, to make it a 4-hour show, there's certainly a lot of padding, certainly a lot of random announcements in between the Game Awards, and some companies like to bring their new games there to announce them.
Yep.
And we will walk you through every single game that was announced. We have about like 20 or 30 or so. I did not do the exact counting here, but we do have a decent amount. We won't stop at every single one because me, probably you as well, don't know all of these, are not super interested in all of these, but we'll walk through them and take pit stops where we think, some games are pretty interesting. And also, by the way, one thing, this is in the most random order possible. I gathered all this info from like multiple different articles. It is this list is in the most random order, but I have it here, okay? So, Elden Ring Night Rain is a new multiplayer spinoff, part of the Elden Ring circle. Do we have thoughts here? Do we care?
I do have thoughts, actually.
Okay.
Now, I haven't played Elden Ring. Obviously, Elden Ring is massive. One game of the year. Okay, yes.
Sure.
And this is a new multiplayer spinoff. Now, I do think for the Switch 2, that Elden Ring will be like
huge.
The Switch is... Yeah, I think it'll be a big thing for the Switch 2. You can play Elden Ring on the Switch 2. Look at that. It's kind of like what the Switch 1 did with Skyrim. Having Skyrim in the launch trailer of the Switch 1 was like, oh my goodness, this doesn't just have games for younger players. They have Skyrim. I can play Skyrim on the plane? What? And I think they're going to do the same thing with this massive series, Elden Ring. So I think that Elden Ring is I think this game will come to the new Switch console. And what's good is that because the new Switch most likely will be able to process a lot of things, I think at this point, a lot of Nintendo creators and a lot of Nintendo Switch owners will have a more diverse catalog of games going into the next generation because the Switch 2 will actually be able to run these games. You'll actually see Call of Duty on the Switch 2. You'll actually see Elden Ring. And so I think that I'm optimistic for the next generation that we'll actually be able to play most of these games. So that's why I don't know. I just find that notable that Elden Ring is probably going to be on the Switch too.
Sorry, I feel like any Elden Ring in any capacity on any Nintendo system is big stuff. I personally, like you, am not very familiar with Elden Ring. I don't know if that's a downfall of mine, because there's some hardcore gamers watching this probably like, you haven't played Elden Ring, you have not played Xenoblade, you have not played all these great games I have played. I'm sorry, it's just not of my interest. But I'm happy for those who are hyped about this. Hopefully we see it on Switch too. It could be like the Skyrim to the Switch too, you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Also, Elden Ring I haven't played it because it just seems it's notoriously hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I hate getting mad at games.
Yeah.
And I just know if a pro gamer can get mad at Elden Ring,
what are we going to do?
I don't have a chance. Yeah, there's no chance. And I might play it for an hour and then be like, okay, I'll just go play a different game. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It looks really fun. I just know that it's just probably not my game. That's all.
We would suck. Probably.
Yeah.
It's going to be no fun. But also, The Witcher 4 got a cinematic trailer, so no, real gameplay, but got some cinematic and got a little announcement there. If you don't have thoughts, we'll move on. Or do you?
Cinematic trailers. What's the point of a cinematic trailer?
To announce the game and the title and get people hyped.
Yeah, but it's like,
I support
just show me. Just show really
a little bit.
You don't just say, just show me the game. Like, okay. Some of it can be cinematic, but come on, first of all, if it's the cinematic trailer and they're not showing off gameplay, that means it's like months and months, maybe even years down the road.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, Nintendo isn't really good. Nintendo has taught us well with this, because whenever they announce a game, most of the time they show gameplay, and then doesn't take forever for them to release. Yes.
I object.
No.
Pikmin 4.
Okay, but
cinematic trailer released in less than a year.
Cinematic trailer, then it wasn't. Yes,
but that was a pretty big exception, though. Like,
yes.
I'm not trying to argue with you. Like, that was pretty rare.
No, I mean, yeah, that's exactly. How often do they do that? And then they just gave us one. Then they gave us one Pikmin 1 and 2, like right after that.
Yeah.
It's really hit or miss. I'm not saying Nintendo never does it, but recently they haven't done it. So I just don't like when they announce a game and it's like years down the line.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did they say an announced date for Witcher 4? I don't know. I don't play
If they did, I missed it. But
Yeah.
I've not played it either, so I have no real thoughts on this. The Outer Worlds 2 was a sci-fi RPG that was announced, of course, a sequel to The Outer Worlds 1.
Which is on Switch and apparently is really, really bad.
Really?
The first Switch.
Performance-wise or what?
Performance-wise, apparently it's like one of the worst ports, The Outer Worlds 1 on the Nintendo Switch.
Dang.
I will
not be playing.
Yeah. I don't know probably not.
Probably not. Hopefully not. Maybe not. Unfortunately not. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, which is a new Ninja Gaiden game. These have not been games for me, but I hear people are hyped, so kudos to you.
Don't got thoughts on that one.
Slay the Spire 2, of course, a sequel to Slay the Spire 1. This, I believe it's like a card deck building type game, if I can recall.
Honestly,
correctly.
I have no idea. Sounds familiar, but I don't. Yeah, I didn't. This one didn't stand out to me either.
We're a couple of Nintendo boys.
Yeah,
here.
Nintendo
We don't know all the
boys.
games.
Exactly.
This next one looked cool, though. One Move Away, a VR game about moving to a new house. Let me just say, listen, it looked cool, but the fact that the concept is moving to a new house is, bro, no one wants to simulate that.
Who wants to move? What the heck? Well, I guess it could be like there was a really good game, Moving Out. Have you heard of that game?
That sounds familiar. What is it? What's it about?
Moving out.
Oh, right. But like,
but it's like, I think there's like stories. There's like stories as you're moving out, and you get to uncover all the stuff about someone's room. I didn't play it, but I do know that it is a game that people did enjoy. I can't. The premise doesn't sound very interesting. Like, why in the world would I want to move out? It sounds sad and tedious, like most moves.
Yeah, it does sound pretty sad. So, That's a VR game coming out, I assume. I actually didn't look, but PSVR, I would assume, and maybe MetaQuest. All the cool VR stuff.
Maybe PSVR 2. They don't support that.
Oh, they don't?
Nobody supports the PSVR 2 that well.
Really?
I have a PSVR 2, and it is like, it has been, I actually just cracked it up the other day, but before that, it was sitting down for months. Like, I don't know. There's just not, PlayStation needs to make more first-party games for this VR 2, but.
Yeah, I have my PSVR 1 on like life support, dude. Like, bro, I've left it sitting there for like 5 years now.
Okay, if you have a PSVR 1, so that means you have a PS4.
Correct.
All right, so hear me out. I bought a PSVR 1 just for I did an Astrobot video where I played every Astrobot game.
Yeah.
I bought a PSVR 1 just for the PSVR 1 game that they did.
Yeah, that was cool.
It is a fantastic game.
It was cool, yeah.
Did you play it?
Yeah, I did.
So good.
It's
such a good game. Really interesting. I hope they do more things like that with the PSVR 2, but nope.
You can't count on them. But next we have Thick as Thieves, a multiplayer stealth game. This is one of the ones I just look at once and skip, if I'm being honest.
Nothing.
Let's just kind of move a little quicker because we have like no thoughts on these.
Yeah,
Steel Hunters is a 12-player multiplayer shooter. Kyora is a multiplayer pixel art game, which looked pretty cool. Here's one I want to stop at, dude.
Yeah. Let's stop at this one. Yeah.
Rematch?
Yeah.
This looked like Switch Sports, but human, better,
exactly.
and real.
It actually does look surprisingly good. I think the team that made that karate game, Sifu. Remember Sifu?
I'd never heard of that. Seafood?
I'm going to get it.
Oh, let's see. He's gonna grab it. He's grabbing it. He is grabbing the game from his shelf. He is searching for the game. Actually, he is not grabbing it just yet. He is searching for the game. He is looking very hard for the game. He is going to show us Seafood, I believe it's called. Seafood. Russ is looking through his Switch games at the moment. But Rematch, though, I'll give my thoughts. Rematch is a soccer game, if you couldn't figure that out. We didn't say soccer game, so I wouldn't hate you if you couldn't figure that out. It is a soccer game where it's a bunch of humans on a soccer field. It's like a third-person view soccer game, and that's what it is. But it's more realistic and more in-depth than the Switch Sports soccer mode. The only reason why I compare that to Switch Sports is because it looks somewhat similar in the style. Switch Sports meets Rocket League meets humans is realistic. Russ has the game. It's called Sifu, S-I-F-U.
I think this is
that didn't come out right.
This is the same developer that made this game.
Oh, really?
I could totally be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that this is the same developers that made this game. If I'm wrong,
well, that's sick.
Then I'm wrong. But it was just weird because I heard people saying, "Oh, well, that's kind of a weird game for them to do after this one."
Yeah.
But I mean, it's it does look like a fun game, like for a soccer game.
Are we buying?
I might actually check it out for sure. It's like, it looks way better than FIFA.
Sure.
And then it looks like a better polished version of Switch Sports. And okay, I don't know if you've played any FIFA games on Switch.
I have. On Switch, FIFA 18.
Oh, they're all
which is
just
like the same.
horrible.
Yeah, they're all the same.
They're all the same. They don't change anything gameplay wise, and then like, yeah, they don't change anything except for the roster.
For the rosters, yeah.
Yeah.
Not good. Which is why they're on sale for like $4 nowadays. Like, it's just not worth your $60. I remember I made a YouTube short one time saying, like, don't buy FIFA games. Like, this was back when I was like making shorts on anything. Because I found something in like the FIFA game notes. It was like, this does not offer graphical upgrades, but it just offers like roster. Like, it was EA saying that. I'm like, all right, no one buy any more FIFA games on Switch. It's never worth it.
Yeah, it's just, especially because at launch, I think it's either the same price or $10 less. It's just not worth it at launch for sure.
Yeah. No bueno. But Rematch, if it's not $70,
yeah,
are we buying? Yes, we are buying.
I think I'd try it out
cool.
for sure.
Yeah, same. Rematch. It did look really cool. Solasta 2 is a turn-based RPG. Not for me. That rhymes. Dave the Diver in the Jungle. I've not played Dave the Diver. I feel so uncultured, I guess would be the word.
I mean, I haven't played Dave the Diver, but I've heard really, really good things about it. Like for an indie game.
Same.
Yeah.
And now he's in the jungle now. So
he's in the jungle.
There you go. Now we got a pit stop here. Shadow Labyrinth. Now, by the title of that, another boring game. But if you look at the trailer,
By golly.
this is a 2D platformer which stars a hooded character. It's a guy with a hood on. We don't know who he is. And he's traveling with a robot that is Pac-Man. So it's a Pac-Man following this character.
Yeah.
2D platformer, almost like horror game looking thing. This looks really cool.
It looks really cool. You're right. I think it's based off of this. So there's a TV show on Amazon Prime that.
Oh yeah.
So do you know what I'm talking about? There's like
I don't, but I heard everyone like making these like, this game is based on the Amazon Prime thing, whatever.
Yeah, I didn't know about this show until yesterday, actually, until someone mentioned it. But apparently that's what this is based off of. And the show apparently, the episode that has Pac-Man in it, it's like a very similar concept to this. And it's like pretty gory and
oh boy,
just not Pac-Man fan. Like it's just
it's like not
like
very
clean.
The demo,
yeah. But this game looks
good,
really good,
really
yeah.
good.
Like, and I don't know if it's coming out. I think it said it was coming to Switch.
I think so.
Oh my goodness! I'm definitely. That might be a day one for me, to be honest.
I think it is a day one, dude.
Yeah.
That one looks really good. I mean, of course, that's such a basic commentary for the game that looks like, I'm not sure how to put it because I've not seen much of the game. We see like the little 30-second trailer, but saying it looks really good. Like, go watch the trailer.
Yeah, graphics wise,
I bet you'll want to buy.
Graphics wise, it's impressive. It's obviously not running on the Switch in the trailer.
Yeah.
But I can't tell if it's like a Metroidvania, like kind of like Metroid Dread, or if it's a level-based 2D platformer like New Super Mario Bros. I can't really tell. It looks more to me like a Metroidvania. So if it is a Metroidvania, I might not like it as much. I really did like Metroid Dread. Really, really, really good game.
It looks almost, now that you say that, like it, I'm not saying that it was or it wasn't, but it looks almost like it was inspired by Metroid Dread. Like it looks similar, kind of.
Yeah,
not fully.
I mean, it could. Who knows? I'm excited to play it. I don't really understand how Pac-Man and this figure are related or why he's a robot or whatever.
Yeah,
but I'm excited. I'm excited for the story of it. I think that's a really interesting thing that not a lot of Pac-Man games lean into, the story. So it's so different.
I was gonna say, it makes for a really good story. Whatever that is, it's gonna be good.
Also, throughout the trailer, it was saying a lot of Pac-Man things like make sure you eat all this and don't follow the ghosts or whatever. It's cool. All right.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
Looks very good. A new Virtua Fighter game was revealed. It's a Sega fighting game. Not for me, fortunately. Project Robot is an untitled game made by the creator of Ico, Shadow of the Col. I can't pronounce
Shadow
words
of the Colossus.
Ico, Colossus, and the Last Guardian.
Yeah. Have you played any of those games?
None.
Okay, those are like. They have a very common theme where it's like a small guy that you're playing with these massive robots or things like that. Like Shadow of the Colossus, you play as this hunter, and there's giant machines, and you got to climb up them and defeat them or whatever. I watched my brother play it a while, and same with the Last Guardian. The Last Guardian is like you play as a kid who's with this big feathered dog, like a bird/dog. That's a really good game. And you have a PS4. Hey, maybe check it out. Just saying, they're both on
My
PS4.
PS4 is cooked, bro. It's so cooked. It's like, bro, it takes like 9 minutes to boot up. Not actually, but like it's so cooked.
Yeah, but those are both really good games, and this seems like a very similar premise. You can definitely tell it's by the same people. It's weird. This one is like he's climbing up this figure, then he jumps in ahead before this storm comes and evaporates the world. It looks interesting.
It does. It does indeed. I'll have to look into this, but probably won't end up picking it up just because I know what I like. I know it's not for me.
Exactly.
Split Fiction.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah, Split Fiction. This looked almost like so it's a co-op adventure game.
Yeah.
It looked almost like It Takes Two, which was a really good game.
So it's made by the same creators. I think Hazelight.
Oh, it is? Oh, snap.
Yeah, I think Hazelight is the studio. And
this
is made by the same people who do It Takes Two. Was it A Way Out? I think A Way Out is the other one.
I think so. Yeah.
And then
That sounds right.
A Brother's Tale is another one. Those are all fantastic games. It Takes Two, really, really,
masterpiece.
really good. Yes,
That was really good.
Looked amazing. They even brought it to Switch, and I played it on Switch.
Yeah,
definitely not as good on Switch as PS5, obviously, but it does well. So hey, all you Switch listeners, get It Takes Two. It's on sale all the time. It's a fantastic game.
Very
you can
good.
Play local co-op for free. It's crazy. Only one person needs to buy it. Really, really good. Split Fiction is very similar to. It's like a mix between A Way Out and It Takes Two. They have so many power-ups and it just looks phenomenal. I'm definitely gonna buy it. This could also be a day one for me. Have you played any of the It Takes Two, any of that?
I've played It Takes Two, but not the other ones that they've also made. Just It Takes Two. I've played that. I actually played it on Switch. Believe it or not, they gave me a free code, and that was really cool. So I was like, you know what, I'll play it. And it was very much so. I could tell that this was a very good game, a very good masterpiece. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
But I've not played the other ones that this team has made.
When It Takes Two came out on Switch, I got it on Amazon. This is my biggest memory for It Takes Two. I got it on Amazon, and that was back in the days. It was back in the days when I had to buy all the games for my videos. Like, still very rarely a company will reach out to me if I'm planning on doing a video on them, because I usually roast all the games that I'm playing on Switch because whatever. But they didn't send me. They didn't send me a code back then. I bought it, but I bought it on Amazon, and this was like when I would try to script and write and edit a video in like one day, so that I can get it out as close as release. I didn't get it early or anything.
Dang.
And then Amazon waited till like 8 p.m. to ship me the game.
Oh.
That's the only thing I think about when I think of It Takes Two, how long it took from Amazon. It's really an Amazon problem. Wait,
you didn't buy it digitally though?
No, I didn't buy it digitally.
I mean, I can tell by all your physical games. I was just like thinking like if you needed it quick, I didn't know. Amazon's not reliable, unfortunately.
That was a silly pants move for me. I should have like pre-ordered it at GameStop or something. That would have been the way to go. Anyways,
GameStop, for as much crap as I give them, they're pretty good with pre-orders.
Well, they get all the games. They're like the game place. Like, you cannot.
The GameStop, some might say.
You might stop there to get games. Per chance.
You just might.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not pre-ordering It Takes Two from like Walmart or something. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Canadian Walmarts, I don't even know do pre-orders here.
Best Buy is really good if anyone has a Best Buy listening. Best Buy is the best.
I don't think Best Buy carries a lot of games here in Canada either.
But if you pre-order like a week in advance, they will get it to you. Like, they will ship it. They'll ship one copy to your local Best Buy, and they will get it to you if you pre-order it like a few months in advance.
Yeah, I mean,
they will do it.
I feel like it's here in Canada. It's very sketchy with pre-orders. The only place I'm comfortable pre-ordering is GameStop. That's the only place worth pre-ordering in Canada, because it's the only place that gets pre-order bonuses. It's the only one that will guarantee get copies of a game the day it comes out. So anyways. Yeah, I'm excited for Split Fiction. to wrap it up.
Hopefully, I just hope that, like, dude, I would like to buy these games day one. I hope that none of these are like $70 at launch. Bro, I'm not buying.
Yeah.
If Split Fiction's more than like 50, which honestly it might be like 60.
It's probably going to be 60 day one.
I'm waiting for a sale. Like, I mean, listen, bro, all their games are pretty good. I mean, I played It Takes Two. That was really good. I'm sure that the other ones are really good. I'm sure the Split Fiction game is going to be great, but I don't want to pay 60 for,
EA does this thing. This is how I played Take Two for the first time, where you can pay for a $5 subscription and get access to all of the EA games.
Oh, yeah, EA Play,
first
right?
time. Yeah, exactly. I think it's included with Xbox Game Pass or something.
It's on there. Yeah. It's something like that.
So if you get EA Play for a month for $5, you can play. That's how I did it. You play It Takes Two, and then you can cancel the subscription.
Oh.
That might be a little like.
So that's good. That's the move right
That's
there.
the move.
$5.
Yeah, that is the move.
Done.
If it's their day one.
That is the move. I might do that. Our next game here is Project Century, which is a third-person game which takes place in Japan.
Oh, I know which one this is now. I'm thinking about which one this is. Yeah, it's this Japanese. Okay. I thought it was like a sequel to Sifu at first.
Seafood? Oh no, Sifu.
No. This game. Remember this one?
Why would they make that name, bro? It sounds like seafood. Like if you tell
I know.
Hey mom, I want seafood. Seafood, honey? Like
Take this salmon.
yeah, there you go.
There you go. This doesn't look
Our style, maybe.
not my style. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Not us. A new Turok game was shown, Turok Origins.
This was interesting.
I hear good things about Turok, but it was before my time. I've never played it.
Yeah, same. I know that I only know Turok because the Nintendo 64
Yes, the
mature
online.
17 plus thing, which
Mhm.
and it's so notable because they made a whole app for the old 64 version. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the only reason I know the series, but it looks like a really good game. Like graphically,
It does look
it
good.
looks
Mhm.
fantastic. So maybe it's worth checking out. It kind of reminds me of Ark Survival Evolved. Have you seen that game?
Oh yeah.
It kind of reminds me
Kind
of
of
that one.
similar, yeah.
Just more violent.
Mhm. Violent Arc.
Yeah, exactly. So
There we go.
For
Sold. I'm sold.
yeah,
I'll look into it. I don't know. Probably won't pick that one up. Clive Rosfield was added to Tekken 8. Bro, I'm doing cartwheels with that announcement.
let's go,
Um,
Clive. Yes,
let's freaking go.
I love Clive.
Warframe 1999 is out now. I believe that's an expansion for the existing game that is out. But
Beats me.
that's out now. cool, next day release. Onimusha, if I'm saying that right, Way of the Sword was the game that was announced. It releases in 2026.
Hey, it's like it's too soon. Too soon. They announced it too soon.
Stage Fright is a game made by the people who made Overcooked. Now that I can get behind. It is a co-op game where you avoid aliens and you're in a horror twisted world, it appears. This one I have to know more about, but the whole Overcooked, team making that'll sell me because Overcooked is very good. I was playing it recently.
Yeah.
Overcooked very
is a
great.
fun one. Overcooked is a fun game, but I have no specific thoughts about Stage Fright because they didn't really show it that much. I don't think.
Yeah, they didn't show it that much.
So
It was just kind of like, hey,
We'll
it's
see.
happening. We
Yep.
made Overcooked, and here's our new co-op game. We'll look into it as we learn more about it. Sonic Racing is back.
Let's go.
Let's freaking go. That's a random banger announcement.
that was so random.
We didn't learn much about it. All we saw was a little teaser where Shadow, I believe, was in his little car. He was driving. And then they just showed Sonic Racing Cross Worlds is what it's called. And I don't think that we know when it releases either. We just know it's happening at some point. It'll be on Switch, I believe, and all the major consoles. I'm hyped. That's my favorite announcement.
I think it's my favorite announcement too.
That's my favorite.
As Nintendo, and this is just our genre, right?
Yeah, it's us. Yeah.
Sonic. It was so. I don't understand. I mean, I guess the Team Sonic Racing game. I recently played it, and it was actually surprisingly good for a kart racer. So obviously it did well enough that they're doing a whole new one. I find it odd that they used Shadow. Like as soon as I saw that car render, I'm like, this looks like Shadow.
Yeah.
But can it be Shadow? He normally rides
And then you see
bike.
like the back of his head.
Yeah, it was so hype. It was crazy. I'm excited for it, but I don't really know what else they could do. Hopefully they do something good. The fact that we get 2 Sonic racing games before Mario Kart, it's crazy as well.
That's phenomenal. Mario Kart 10, where you at? Because Sonic Racing might take over. They're trying to be Mario Kart 10, and maybe they will be. Maybe they won't be. Who knows?
Assuming, the Switch 2 doesn't get dropped, beginning of the year.
Yeah, you gotta hurry it up, Sega. But Mafia: The Old Country was also shown. A sequel to Okami. And then these ones were pretty, or this last one was pretty big. Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet, which is made by Naughty Dog, the creators of Last of Us and Uncharted. Not for me, but I heard a lot of big reactions to that one. That was like a big one I heard.
I'm a big reactor to this one, for sure.
Oh.
I'm excited. I'm excited for this. But not even because the concept looks very interesting, but because it's made by Naughty Dog. Like, Last of Us and Uncharted, phenomenal games. Phenomenal. Really, really good. So just the fact that it's another game in that genre, similar to that. Also, the graphics.
A1.
Oh my, it looked so good. Apparently that was all in-game rendered too, that whole thing. It looked
sweet. It
didn't look completely real, but it looked really, really convincing. And also it was like a Porsche spaceship. There was like a Porsche spaceship. They had Adidas shoes on. They had a Sony sound system. It was just
it's real,
filled with brands. It was just it was weird. It felt real. Anyways, I'm excited for that one for sure.
The best brand-filled game since Pikmin 2. No, this is cool because, we just talked about Stage Fright, and that's made by Overcooked Devs, and we talked about one other Split Fiction made by the same people that make It Takes Two. Like, the games that are made by the people that you like their previous games, that's always cool. And this is one of those games.
For sure.
Those are all of the announcements from the Game Awards, except they also announced the Switch 2. I wish. That didn't actually happen.
No chance.
Overall, what did we think of the Game Awards? Now, I can't talk too much, so I'll give my quick thoughts first, because I didn't watch the full thing. I just watched the highlights of it. But what I heard and what I took from the little bits that I watched, what I heard was that this was like one of the better Game Awards, like in terms of like the acts and everything, in terms of the games up there, in terms of the pacing, in terms of everything. I heard this was like one of the better Game Awards shows in recent years. My thoughts on it, I guess I don't have very much because I didn't actually watch it. I just saw what I saw. In terms of announcements, I forget. It escapes me what was announced last year. It didn't seem like major stuff, or I would probably remember it. But this seems like a pretty decent announcement year. And Game Awards, I am a Nintendo fan. It would be cool to see them, have won one award, but they didn't win anything. I don't really care about that, though. It's, not my... I didn't lose the award. They did. So, I have no real connection to that.
Are we rating it on a scale of 10?
I can't because I didn't watch it, so it'd just be too unfair. But in terms of announcements, I will give, because that's all I can rate it on, because I can see it. I would give it, I don't know, it's hard to compare because I'm not sure like what was last year's announcements. I'd probably say it looks pretty good. I'd say like 7. I don't know, 7 maybe?
Yeah, I think 7 is really safe. I don't really like to rate things as 7 because that's like that's just the easiest thing to say. It's like a classic.
Yeah, that's pretty easy.
But
7.1.
But I genuinely believe it is like a 7 because it was.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff I didn't really care about. The thing is, the Game Awards are so subjective to what you actually like, or objective. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Whatever. You get the idea. It's
sure.
Yeah. If you have a bunch of games you don't care about, then it's bad. If you have a bunch of games you care about, then it's good. And I see so many people online saying this was an utter waste of time. This was horrible. But no, it is. I think compared to previous Game Awards, this was a good year. This was a good year for announcements. It's very similar to previous years though. Like this is exactly what I'd expect to get announced from a Game Awards. Apparently there was leaks a while ago that Metroid Prime 4 would be making an appearance at the Game Awards.
I saw those.
And that Metroid Prime 1 or Metroid Prime 2 and 3 would get shadow dropped. That didn't happen.
Nope.
So a lot of Nintendo fans also kind of went in with high expectations from that one leak, which I think the same guy who leaked the Nintendo Directs moving to August, the partner showcase and the Indie World, the same guy that got that right said that that Metroid Prime was going to make an appearance at the Game Awards. So for Nintendo fans who are really into it, like us, when they saw the Game Awards and Metroid Prime wasn't there, it was like, that sucks.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like if I was, I'm an average gamer. I'd say I resonated with 30% of the games here, which is fine. I don't even play 30% of games, so it's a good, it's good. 7.
I thought there was something for everybody. Like, bro, like we didn't like a whole lot of these, but we got Sonic Racing, we got the Pac-Man game, we got a few Stage Fright, and I keep forgetting the fiction, Split Fiction. We get a few things out of this. It was nice. Also, one thing on the Metroid leak thing.
Yeah.
I'm not here to bash leakers or anything, but and I don't know the context. I won't even drop names, but if you want to do research, you can. The guy who leaked that, I think he's gotten a multitude of things wrong. So I didn't expect it at all.
The thing that made him slightly reputable was the fact that those Nintendo Direct presentations, because it made so much sense, and it was such an odd thing to predict, and he got it. Like, it's weird. So it is weird. Oh man, this guy clearly knows something. But hey, there's a lot of people. You can predict a lot of things. Clearly, it didn't come. So now his whatever you want to call it. Now it's out the
reputation.
Window. His reputation completely gone. I don't trust that guy. I don't trust most leakers. I just kind of want Nintendo to hurry up and do their own thing. But
I trust Puro and Nate the Hate. That's it.
Isn't Nate the Hate the guy who said this? Okay, I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't really know names, but I know.
I thought it was Nate's great. I thought it was I forget his name. It escapes me. I thought it was that guy like on the forums. Nate's great. I thought it was that guy on the forums. I forget his name. It escapes me. I probably don't even want to say his name, but either way, let's move on. Before we get canceled here, okay? Nate's great. Let's go on. Nate's great. But now it is time to move on to your favorite segment, the question block segment, where me and Russ answer your questions you asked us. Let's go ahead. Let's get to it. Folks, your favorite segment, our favorite segment, everyone's favorite segment is the Q&A segment, the question block segment. Me and Russ will answer your questions you asked us via the YouTube community tab that I post on every single, I think, Tuesday I do it. So if you want to see that, there's a link down below. Go to the description. There's a thing that says sources and links. You can click that. You can find the link, or just subscribe to the main channel, EmSwizzle. Whole lot of different ways to ask questions. Or if you don't want to do any of that, you can join the Discord server link down below and ask questions in there. Our first question comes from Fort Worth, Texas, who asks, what features do you want Nintendo to add for the Switch 2 that PlayStation and Xbox already have? So let's stop there. There's more to the question, but let's stop there. What do we want on Switch 2 that everyone else already has?
I think we already know my answer because I talked about it a few times already. Adaptive triggers.
That would be great.
Like first of all I want really is actual analog triggers, because right now you just have the clicky
little button.
It's just click, which I think at the end of the day is not that big of a deal. It's fine even if it was on the Switch 2. Who cares? That is just, I think the triggers really are cool, and the PlayStation adaptive triggers specifically, again, those are just amazing. I feel new dynamic uses of it whenever I play the PS5, and I'm still like, oh my, you guys got to feel this. This is crazy. Like it's just really cool. So that is what I would say. The adaptive triggers or some sort of trigger enhancement, and also bigger thumbsticks, more travel. But again, it's a portable console. So what
they're going to do what they can. My answer, and maybe what you were going to say, achievements. I think that you got to have some achievements on the Switch 2. Now, Nintendo actually did come out and say something like they weren't interested because they want to do things that are unique. But I still want it. Like, bro, give me some achievements. Give me like Animal Crossing New Horizons achievement, which that's not a good example because they have the whole Nook Mile thing that kind of acts as it. But give me Mario Odyssey achievements. Give me in-depth things. I don't know. It'd be nice.
That's a fantastic idea. Achievements on the Nintendo Switch. What could they call achievements?
Nintendo Nintendo achievements.
Well,
I don't
Xbox's achievements, PlayStation's trophies. This could be coins.
Medals, or coins. Coins is good. Coins or medals. Nintendo, run with it.
Or they could do like a power up system. Like on PlayStation, there's bronze, silver, gold, and then platinum trophies. You could do like, the bronze would be the super mushroom. The silver would be the fire.
Up is like,
yeah. 1-up would be like the platinum.
Superstar.
Or no, Superstar would be the platinum. Superstar would be platinum, and then 1-up would be gold.
There's a second part of the question that asks, what do we want PlayStation and Xbox to add that Nintendo already has? I have to think.
Okay,
what does Nintendo have? Go ahead.
So Nintendo, we've already heard a lot about this. There's been leaks, there's been rumors that PlayStation and Xbox both are doing a portable console. So the portability is what I choose, because I had a PlayStation Portal, because it just wasn't
great.
Really a great way to play games. Yeah, well, it's all cloud, and I also got it and sold it before they did. Now you can stream games directly from the cloud instead of from your PS5 to your PlayStation Portal. But anyways, so they don't really have non-cloud based gaming systems. I just want a CPU in the handheld, just like the Steam Deck, because they could do some really good things about it, or good things with it, and like a PS Vita 2. They wouldn't call it a PS Vita 2, but it'd just be bringing all the PS5 games to a portable device. Same with Xbox. We know they're both working. Both of those companies are working on a portable system. So I think it's just a waiting game at this point. But that is what I would want the most from them to take from Nintendo.
That's a good one. Portability is huge. My answer, I don't really know. I mean, they have good games. I don't know.
I mean, they're
exclusives.
Exclusive. That's a really monthly exclusives. The fact that Nintendo does almost a game every single month is crazy, and Xbox hasn't done more than 2 games a year for the longest time. PlayStation does also not that many games in a year. They need to do monthly exclusive games. Now, they're a little more technical, PlayStation and Xbox, because the developing is just harder, and Nintendo's got that style. They've got their games down pat, right? They've got them. PlayStation and Xbox, every first-party PlayStation game is all so similar, like with the third person and like it's very nice. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's all very similar. They should really be a little more diverse in their game thing. If they did that, I feel like PlayStation would absolutely crush the gaming market. But
it would be great.
Yeah,
I want exclusives.
There you go.
Please.
You can expand on it as well if you
not too much to expand on. Just give me something. Xbox needs a character like Mario.
Well, they have Crash now.
Yeah, but you need someone else. You need someone who's gonna be a new, fresh take.
Yeah.
Just like buy Bluey or something. I don't know. You're gonna have to figure that one out. That would be a power move.
The Xbox mascot is Bluey. That's wild.
Please no. The nerd Hinox asks, do you think the next Nintendo console will have 2 screens and a stylus? Now, the reason I put this question on here is because that top USB-C port, bro, is that a dual screen thing? Do we know? No, it's not? Okay.
No,
okay.
Okay.
Maybe it's not.
Okay. I would love to have a dual screen and the whole stylus thing. I think that'd be
great.
Really, really, really cool. They could expand on a lot of games. They could do a Wii U thing. Whatever. They could totally do that. And I would love that for sure. But I really don't like the idea of them adding things to the Switch that makes it difficult for third-party developers to develop games for. A huge thing with the
Yeah.
Wii U was the fact that they added a gamepad to the games, and then nobody wanted to develop for the gamepad because they needed to.
It's difficult.
They needed to make a whole new UI for the gamepad screen. They wanted it. That made it really difficult for them for third-party developers to move to the Wii U, and it was the same thing for the original Wii as well. Like, how do they make a first-person shooter for a Wii remote, right? So,
Yep.
I would love that idea, and I think that it is possible, but it would be it wouldn't be necessary. Like, you wouldn't need to use the two screens or a stylus, like the DS or something. It would just be an option for first-party games if they wanted to use it. Also, I don't know how that would work portably. How would you use two screens portably unless you attach it on the top? Now, if the Switch 2 is actually called Nintendo Switch Attach or the Nintendo Attach, like it was rumored months ago, then I could see it happening. But I mean, I just, it scares me. It scares me to think that they would do something to their system that would scare third-party developers away, because that's a huge thing that they need to keep doing. And that's why the Switch, I think, was so popular.
I would love a second screen. Even if it's not for main games, you can just do, as you said, 3DS, Wii U, that kind of stuff. It just seems like because even okay, let's imagine a screen plugs in via USB-C port. Just imagine it with the leaked console that we have. How does that even work? Like, the screen's gonna fall. Like, there's no other like attachment bracket. Like, okay, say that we get the Switch 2 and a screen that has a thing on the bottom to plug in. It's all gonna be wobbly. Like, how does that even work? Like, it couldn't fit an extra screen, I feel like. So my thought, so here's my two predictions for that USB-C port. Either one, the Switch, well, put it this way, this is easier. When you're in tabletop mode, you can charge the Switch with that USB-C port, because you can't, of course, if the bottom one is on the table. Number two is things like a camera, a microphone, little just one-off accessories for quirky little games. I think that is what it could be for. But to answer the question, I would say two screens and a stylus. They might have like a stylus, because even the Switch that we have now has like a stylus that, for whatever reason, is like Japan exclusive or something.
Oh yeah.
Which is weird. So
Yeah.
it might have that, but two screens is, as much as I want it, it's a bit of a stretch.
I think the only way that they're going to be able to do dual screens and have it not affect the main premise of the system is if they kind of do like a reverse gamepad thing where the TV is getting like a signal from the actual Switch itself. Like, imagine like the Switch is in your hand and it's transmitting to the dock.
Like a wireless
and then
thing?
you can see, yeah, exactly. I think that's the only way we're going to get dual screens really well, because then it doesn't have to change any hardware of the system. It's already built in, and you can still have those. One player can still hold the Switch, and then the dock is just still the dock, and it transmit the signal to the TV. I think that's the only thing that would be good in two screens, but who knows? And then you would actually be able to use a stylus.
Yeah, and by the way, that would be an awesome thing if they had any sort of Wii U support. My gosh, give me that. Cappy asks, what is the worst feeling in a Nintendo game?
Oh.
That's tough.
I don't.
I have one.
I don't.
And it's
Yeah, you
actually
go
like pretty
first.
tis. It's pretty tis the season. In my favorite game, Animal Crossing New Leaf, when you're doing the Toy Day event, the Christmas event, what you have to do, it's a bit different than New Horizons. You have to guess which present goes to which villager. It's not as easy as New Horizons. If you get that wrong, they're like, well, this isn't what I wanted, but thanks, Santa. Like it breaks your heart. You're like, dang, I didn't get them the gift that they wanted.
Tragic.
It's actually deep. It's actually deeper than that. You just pretty much fail the entire event, which just sucks. Like that, and for me, that's my favorite game of all time. That sucks for me. It's never actually happened. I think it happened one year, like when I wasn't. During the month, they tell you, I want this gift, I want that gift, and then on Toy Day, you were supposed to give them what gift they wanted, and I didn't pay attention that year, so I got it wrong. Last year, I got them all right, so that was a good feeling. But getting that wrong, failing the event, would be a terrible feeling. That's my answer.
Yeah. I can't think of one, but I remember seeing a comment once. Where the worst feeling on a game for them was playing Mario Kart 7 in first-person mode in 3D. I saw that comment once, and it's
That's
always stuck with
something.
me because, yeah, that would be pretty bad. I think it would actually be pretty horrible. That would be a pretty bad feeling, I think.
Doesn't sound great, to be
Just
honest.
picture that.
Yeah, I'm getting like queasy thinking about it. That's just
Upside
like a
down,
mess.
too.
Oh, that is not good. No bueno. We can skip this question because I feel like we touched on this
Yeah.
last question. So Jesse asks non-Nintendo question. What's your favorite album? This is like a little change of pace here.
Oh.
I have my answer. Well, I think I have my answer. I don't know. It's so tough. I gotta really confirm this in my head.
My favorite album. I really like this band called Joan. And
I
they're
never
like
heard of them.
really, really good. Technically an EP, but it's called Cloudy.
Yeah, it counts.
Really, 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 really good album. EP, whatever.
EP still
But,
counts.
every single one of the songs on that absolutely slaps. So yeah,
Bangers.
that is like my favorite album.
I never heard of it. Maybe I'll go listen.
Hey, check it out after this. You gotta. It's good.
My answer. I think I know it. So what comes to mind is I like Juice World a lot, and I have liked Juice World ever since 2018. A lot of people call me out. You only liked him after he died. No, I went to his concert in 2019. I've been a Juice Worlder.
Really? That's
before.
cool.
A lot of people. Yeah, I went to his concert. It was great.
Yeah.
Not his Fortnite one. Not his Fortnite
I was
one.
gonna
His 2019
say
concert.
he's in Fortnite now.
His 2019 concert in Washington, D.C. I was there. I was a big Juice Worlder, and I always have been. So
That's
when he died,
awesome.
It sucked. But I think my answer, every single one is good. I think the answer is Death Race for Love, probably. Either that or his Legends Never Die album, or even like the Fighting Demons one was good. I'm not sure if you're a Juice World or Russ, but
I've
his
heard
new
Juice
one,
WRLD. I wouldn't say I'm a huge fan, but yeah.
his new one, Party Never Ends, was it was kind of rough.
Well,
Listen, I'll probably come back to it, but like it just was my favorite.
I hear that his latest album wasn't that good because it was all of his demos that he recorded before he left Earth. So I hear that they're not like the most polished and they're just ideas, but they fleshed them out just to get another album out.
They sound fine, but I just think like the song selection to put on the album was not the best. So I would either say honestly, Fighting Demons or Death Race for Love by Juice WRLD, I think would be my favorite album. For All the Dogs is great too by Drake. That's kind of recency bias, but that is really good as well. I would say one of those. And then finally, Splat Knight asks a bit. Another off Nintendo topic. What's your favorite thing to do with the family for the holidays? Also, Merry Christmas. I think that I put this on here because it's almost Christmas time.
Almost Christmas.
It's great. It's almost here. We got, as of recording, 12 days, as of posting 11 days. Very
It's the most
soon.
wonderful time of the year, as they say.
Indeed. What do we do, Russ, with our family for the holidays?
It's pretty basic. I think just being with family,
Exactly. Simple.
hanging out, having dinner, opening presents. That's always a good time.
Opening some Switch garbage. I'm just kidding.
Oh man, opening Switch games for it's hard to ask for Switch games for Christmas because we buy them all, right?
Yeah.
So that's it's a business expense. You can't ask for Christmas if it could be a business expense. Anyways, but I just pretty basic answer. I love hanging out with my family, being with everyone, and that's what it is.
That's kind of my answer. I do like the same thing. We eat dinner, we open presents. Like on Christmas Eve. I don't open like Christmas presents, but like my cousins, we meet up and do that. Then on Christmas Day, you get a few more.
Yeah.
We made cookies yesterday. That was really, bro. They were the gooeyest chocolate chip cookies. They were pretty thin, but they were very good.
What kind of cookies
I
are we
think they're all
talking?
gone. It was just like chocolate chip. was it Pillsbury? I don't know. It was just some chocolate chip. Like,
yeah, those
we
ones.
didn't like make them from scratch, but
Yeah.
we just throw them in the oven, and those are really good. We also made, I'm not sure if they have them in Canada, like those Pillsbury sugar cookies that just have like a Christmas tree on.
Oh yeah,
like,
we got those.
like the reindeer. Yeah,
Yeah,
those are
the
fire
best.
too.
Those are
Those
so
are
good.
really good.
Yeah,
especially raw, dude.
Oh.
Raw. Those are really
They
good.
used to not be. You used to not be able to eat them raw, but now they're like, oh, you can eat them raw now, which is just
those
they
are good.
They are really really good. I could eat an entire pack of those by myself alone.
Yeah,
and just
I could eat like 20.
Yeah, it is. Those are by far, I think, the best holiday cookies. There's just something. They're just addicting. I don't even.
Yeah,
they're so small. They're addicting. They're crunchy on the outside. They're soft on the inside. Whoo, man! I'd go buy one right. I'm gonna go buy a pack after this. Oh my!
Let's freaking go. I have some upstairs. I can mail you one. Just kidding.
Mail them over.
It would be there after Christmas, probably.
Yeah.
But folks, that's it for the Mario Matter episode number 119. Thank you all so much for listening to our little Game Awards post-show type thing, Nintendo news, kablamo,
kapow.
I don't know what you call it. Kapow. There you go. Russ, thank you so much for coming on. The floor is yours, my friend. Do you have any upcoming videos that you want to talk about? Any upcoming projects? Anything else? Any cool stuff? Oh, also, where can they find you online?
Well, Russ Vandy. Russ Vandy, exactly how it sounds.
Links down below.
Yeah. There you go. And I'm working on all sorts of long form videos, and I got my Christmas special coming up. So stay tuned.
Yeah.
And thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Of course, man. Are you able to give us a hint on the Christmas special?
I'm playing a lot of Christmas games on the Nintendo Switch.
Can I guess one that is in there?
Yes.
The Grinch Christmas Adventures.
There's one. So bad! Spoiler alert! Dude, it's bad! Really bad. Okay, not so bad. It's not the worst.
Sorry.
But it is pretty bad.
It is pretty bad, but it's not like it's not the worst. I want to talk to you more, but I won't spoil the video for our listeners. I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you after the podcast.
Yeah. Check it out.
All right, check it out. When does it release?
December 20th, December 21st, one of those days.
Nice. Check it out then. I will see you all next week for even more Nintendo Christmas goodness. Adios.